Okay, I'm stopping because I want to read something to you about demons. Again, you have no choice about where you're born, who you're born to, or how you come into this world. Many children are born in a hospital and left in that hospital. Many children are born in a hospital and left on the steps of the fire station. Let me read something to you. It's called Demons. Demons. Where do they all come from? Is it in the mother's womb where thoughts of abortion penetrates the brain of the fetus? Is it the sound of the father's voice when he doubts that the girl in the belly is his own? Is it the mother and father scolding and berating the young pregnant daughter, mother to be, whose name suddenly becomes whore and slut? All children are beautiful, we're told, made in God's own image. So why then do we scorn other than the Gerber babies or those held tightly by Madonna? Do demons appear when aunts and nosy neighbors hold a child while secretly taking note of the markings? When a mother cradles her child to her breast, not to feed but to deny the child the warmth of his own father's arms, is that not first class demonization? When a mother and father walk away, leaving a child in its birth state, not one family member or other tribesman steps up to the plate. Strangers called social workers, case manager, too overworked to take notice, only as required. Foster parents looking for a meager paycheck and given equal amount in love. Adopted parent or parents, all strangers with demons of their own, without knowing, pass along their own contagiousness. Before a child even learns to walk, he has a backpack of demons. He is told not to bite, not to kick, not to holler. He is to be seen as little as possible and heard not at all. Survival demands silence. When the demons get too heavy, tumbling out of his backpack, he is called crazy, out of control, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Is he mentally ill? Perhaps. Is the diagnosis accurate? Maybe. Is it permanent? Perhaps. Is it fixable? Maybe. The individual must seek God and clean house. It really is as simple as that. Because in doing so, he simply removes that backpack of demons and dumps those demons out. And no matter who screams, hollers, bites, kicks, it is his or her duty to burn that backpack. Never, ever look back. Leave the demon lovers to call you ungrateful. Let them speak to your back as you slowly walk away. Let go and let God. The first part, the first step in letting go and letting God is to admit that you've carried demons all of your life and you're powerless over these demons. You're powerless over these demons. Once you have admitted that you're powerless over these demons, you will also understand that these demons have caused your life to be unmanageable. When you are living in a house with a so-called family, but you can't sleep at night because of all the noise in the other room. Maybe the mama is entertaining men. Maybe she's smoking crack. Maybe daddy just showed up in the house drunk and fighting and cussing all night. But when you get to school the next day, you're expected to function. I remember in school, I was a young girl. We were in the 6th grade, and she came to school late every morning. And she lived 2 minutes from the school. And the teacher would fuss and fuss and fuss. And one morning, the teacher just shook her. This woman talked a lot about character, this teacher, and she really wanted her students to do well. But this young girl would show up late every day. One day, when she shook the girl said, "You're hurting me, you're hurting me." She said, "But why do you come late every morning?" The little girl said, "I cannot tell you." She said, "Yes, you will." She said, "I can't tell you in front of the whole class." The teacher took her in the hallway. She said, "Every morning when we leave home, my mama, who's married, daddy lives in the house, mama waits until the last one of us walks out and this man comes in. She said, the reason I won't leave is so he can't come in. Because if he knows I'm there, he'll drive by and go about his business." This young girl was trying to protect her father and trying to protect her mother and trying to protect her home. But at school, she was known as a behavior problem. Where was the problem? The problem was at home. When a child is diagnosed as attention deficit, look at it this way. If you go to your doctor and your doctor tells you that you have a potassium deficit, the doctor is going to give you potassium. So if a doctor or teacher tells a parent that your child has attention deficit, would you not understand that you need to give your child more attention? Well, if both mother and father are working and both mother and father are giving that child things, more things than they ever had in their life, a beautiful home, all the technology, all the play toys. But the question is, nobody said that is a thing, this deficit, that is a toy deficit, that is a material deficit. We're talking about attention deficit. But we have to be delicate. We have to be politically correct with these parents. Why? Because these parents are paying your bill. So attention deficit is just not blaming, not shaming. Because the last thing you want to be said is, your parent shaming. Excuse me. If your child has an attention deficit disorder, give the child some attention. That child is powerless over you. You are the parent. You were powerless over your parent. But you can change the environment that child lives in. if you recognize that it needs to be changed. Step one, we're powerless. You're powerless over practically everything in your life. But let's focus now on the mental illness. You are powerless over your mental illness. You're powerless over your depression. You're powerless over your anxiety. Sit down and write down all the times when something has happened in your life. And had you had a choice, you would have made it different. But it happened, and it seemed like you did not have a choice. It seemed like something just goes haywire. The anger just overtakes you. The eating overtakes you. The drinking overtakes you. It's demons. You're powerless over those demons. Think of your mental illness as demons. You're powerless over those demons. Once you admit, A, that you have demons, and B, that you're powerless over those demons. You know, there used to be a joke, the devil made me do it. How many times have you been sexually attracted to someone, say outside of your marriage, and you had no intention of breaking your marriage vows, but one day, at the right moment, you did. The demons took over your life. You know, nobody raises their hand and says, you know, when I grow up, I want to be crazy. You know, when I grow up, I want to be depressed. You know, when I grow up, I want to be so angry that I just might kill somebody. Nobody wants to grow up that way. Everybody thinks that there will come a day in their life when they will actually be happy. I will be so glad when I get out of this mess. I am going to be happy. I'm going to be like those people that I see on television that seem to be enjoying their life because there's something wrong with me. You know, when you're very, very young, you often suspect that there's something wrong with me or there's something wrong with the way we are living. But you swallow it and you keep thinking things are going to get better. Well, now is your time. Now is the time for things to get better in your life. Things will get better when you get better. Don't wait for your mama to change. Don't wait for your daddy to change. Don't wait for the world to change. Everything will shift when you change. The first step towards you changing is to A, realize that you have demons, and B, be willing to admit that you're powerless over those demons. Go back as far as you can and say, when did I really start feeling like this? When was the first time I really started feeling this uneasiness? That somehow or another I didn't quite fit in. That things were not quite right. You have a backpack. It is full of demons. You're powerless over that backpack. And the next 11 steps will help you to take that backpack off, to throw it away, and never, ever look back. Thank you.